Nikhil, give me 2 minutes. I'll connect through another device.
Sure, definitely. Hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to AJS Mentor Hub. It's an initiative by Sri Amaya Public Charitable Trust. It is a trust which has group of institutions like Aditya Institute of Management Studies and Research, Aditya College of Architecture, and Aditya College of Design Studies. So under AGI Mentors Hub, we provide a 3-level of training pattern, where at level 1, where we introduce our participants to career opportunities available in the industry. At level 2, we connect you with industry experts who would like to speak to you on different specializations of career you like to join. And at level 3, we will introduce you to subject experts, where we will give you free training session on which specialization to choose. So while we go through the webinar, please all of you keep your mic and webcam off throughout the sessions. And there is a chat box Zoom where you can raise your questions. So please welcome our today's speaker, Mr. Raj Doshi, sir. He's a digital marketing specialist with deep interest in building brands and performance marketing solutions. He's also a founder of Let's Talk Communication in 2015, where his core strengths are brand communication, process planning and management, and team building. He's going to share his expertise today. Please, over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Nikhil. Just to give you, I'll share one slide because couple of numbers always works. And okay, is the screen visible to everyone? I would expect a little participation from the people since we are very few. Let's make it a little more interactive and beneficial for the time that we all are spending. That is what even I feel always. Even if there are minimal people, but at least those people who are interested always joins in, and the people who are interested joins in, make the session more fruitful. Right, guys? It really doesn't matter whether it is a big or small group, but we should respect our time, and that is what we are here for. So, a little background about who I am. It's been 10 plus years of my experience so far. It's been 4 years that I started my own company called Let's Talk Communication, where we are actively working with couple of clients in food space and couple of ad hoc projects. I'll not boast too much about myself, but yes, with every journey that you take, there is always a learning that happens, and that is what has taken me to this position right now. The way things are. Previous to that, I worked with interface communication. If you all know FCB Ulka, which is one of the top 3 organization when it comes to creating marketing and communication and working with bigger brands. So there have been part of brand handling team where Mahindra and will handle brands like Mahindra and Mahindra Finance, Mahindra and Mahindra Commercial, again commercial division segment and bit of passenger segment. And in the current capacity, we are working with some of the very large size private limited companies. Pura of India, it's a Belgium based company, but they have an operation in India. Griffith Food, again, it's a US based company, but they do have an operation in India. So we are taking care of their India digital presence and Middle East digital presence. Hamilton Houseware, it's a known brand. They have multiple brands such as Milton, everybody is aware about, and Hindustan Pencils, the guys who own Apsara and Nataraj, the pencils and the rubbers and the sharpeners that we all grown up with. So, a couple of clients in that space that helped us grow, and yes, couple of more things that always takes us. So now, I believe today's session is primarily to understand, is social media the only digital platform or the only way to digitally be active? I would say no. Lot of lot of people who start their digital journey because social is something that they are aware about, because actively on a personal bandwidth they are using. So that is the first step towards being digital. But and this is not the only case. Wherever you see there are consumers, wherever customers are present, their marketers and brands reach out to them. The reason why it's always the case and it's always consumer first is because at some point in time it's about awareness. Post awareness, it is about making them consider the brand, and then it is about selling. So hence most of the time you see there are exhibitions. Exhibitions are primarily either to create an awareness, and a lot of times in the exhibitions you see that the products are being sold, because that is the ultimate objective. Unless customer is not experiencing the product, he's not going to buy it. So digital too is now becoming a platform where initially, where again I will go back to the numbers later on. Digital is also becoming a platform where primarily customers are being shown a first level of communication. They are being reached out to make them aware, understand who we are, what we are. And then there are different methods through which a sales conversion is been happening online. Again, in India, 5 years back, the entire digitization and digital communication was still not at peak. But now, because of the COVID situation, everything has really moved in the digital space. What was expected to happen in next 2 years, 3 years, or by 2022, now everything has been fast tracked, because most of the year of 2020 is going to be only digital. We are not going to speak to others right now. If you see, last year or a year before that, webinars were not in fashion. But post COVID situation, webinars are the only way people are conducting joint sessions. People are communicating one to one. Either it is through Zoom, it is through Google Meet, it is through Skype, it is through WhatsApp, and tons of other applications, which is helping us stay connected. So what leverage does this platform does? It's a The leverage is the content, the leverage is the consumer base. Similarly, the average screen time of an individual on social media platform till last year and compared to this 2 months, if you see, it would be a considerable spike. And this spike is not is primarily more than 50%. So that is where choosing the right career and choosing the right skill set is very important, because digital too offers a gamut of opportunities, a gamut of possibilities. It is just not social media, but along with varied other opportunities in terms of analytics, in terms of Google specialists, in terms of digital sales, in terms of content, in terms of design. Again, I would be coming to that as well today, so that we understand that it's just not social, it is about and why. The uh, always from a perspective, it's more important as to why are we doing it, uh, to whom are we doing it, and why we should be doing it. So couple of numbers. Again, this is more like a January 2020 number. It is open for you to check. You everybody can go to VR Social. VR Social is a very active company, and also an aggregator based in US. They do publish numbers on a yearly basis. If you have a paid subscription, you get a half yearly numbers as well, but yearly numbers as well help. So if you would look at the data or the trend that is happening right from 2015 to 2016 to 2017, we all have started been very active on more platforms. We are more consuming digital content. We are relying more on your Times of India app, your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. it just not information, but it is also for entertainment. It is also for staying connected with each other, and that's where, as a marketer, as a brand, the opportunities to reach out to its customers with comes in. Now, why are these platforms more beneficial than your traditional media? Uh, Primarily two reasons. One, it is measurable. So today, if you guys are managing or being a part of a small team or even on your own experimenting, because there are a lot of digital marketing experts who are self starters. They have not undergone too much of a training, but they have experimented with a lot of platforms, with a lot of content, with a lot of data, and they have become a self proclaimed marketing expert. They too started their journey from zero, but over a period of 2 years and 3 years, they have been able to achieve what they are today. Again, uh, using digital for a personal space and a business space is always going to be different, because everyone likes to communicate one to one, but the moment you try to sell them something, becomes there is always a resistance. I'm very sure if you keep yourself in the consumer space, where the way I always think about it, if today if I am a consumer as well, and I'm a marketer as well, and if an information is being thrown to me, and if there is a communication where you buy this, you get this, you order this today, unless it's not supported by an heavy discount or a trial period offer, we don't purchase it. And the another way is that we always like to buy things, we don't like to get sold things. So digital is a more shuttle way and a more content driven approach. It is not going to be one to one anyway, it's always going to be one to many, because you are always trying to target to a persona and not an individual. But your on ground sales is always one to one, because you are meeting to the customers. You are also I'm talking about direct sales again over here, right? I'm not trying to tell you about the advertising in the marketing communication. So the tone, the information, the way you are going to plan your strategies are going to be different, because what the opportunity window over there is very minimal. It is not at all driven by intention to buy, like the way our newspapers and outdoors are, where we know that these placements are there, these ads are there, we have a blind spot to that. Similarly, the trend of having a blind spot to the digital communication is catching up. So there are challenges, but yes, there's that journey to ensuring that we become a digital brand, we are more active, or what works for a customer is always the journey, and that is what more important. Coming back to why digital, who should take it up as a profession, and yes, what are the opportunities, right? So the total population is 1.3 billion. We are all aware about, where 34% is available in urban. But if you see the number of mobile connections, which is 1.6, that means your 78% of population is already connected to a phone. You are able to reach out to them, and if you see, there's a particularly 50% of the audiences are connected through internet. Means the potential is still there. There are still more for 50% of the audiences who are not connected, and the government and the infrastructure is trying to reach out to them, bring them on the digital platform. So still the entire journey or the digital is not at its peak, it is still been explored, and there are a lot of other opportunities which is coming our way, the way digitization of the entire journey starts. Similarly, if we are looking at the change in the population, right? If you see, this is the number that gives you the change in number and the digital growth indicator. Please note that there is always a fastest moving, so the mobile is not, because the smartphone penetration is already there. There are a lot of people in rural in the rural market who are using feature phones. But if you look at the number, there is a constant growth, right? From number of people or the population increase to the number of people who have started using the phone to the number of people who are now on internet. And if you see the number of social media active users, again, this is the total social media active users considering all the platform, because there are individuals who are active on Facebook, then and who would not be active on other platform. There are people who are active on other platform but not on Facebook. So the journey of people now connected through a device or to a social media channel is increasing uh, because of the change in the off-ground dynamic, and because of the pandemic COVID-19 situation. Now, coming by age group, correct? If you see, out of the total population that we have, the number of people that are 13 plus, the age of 13 and above, is close to 77%. Population aged 18 and above, which is 68% of the population, and 16 to 84 is 65%. That means tomorrow, when everyone is going to have a smartphone, everybody will be primarily be communicating through a phone. So the opportunity is primarily to be mobile first. Now that's the next wave of things. The earlier it was primarily your desktop and your internet driven, but now if you see, everybody out there is trying to make a plan or a communication or an approach which is mobile first. Why? Because everybody is going to be connected, and if these mobile devices are connected to internet, that means they would be having access to most of the features, most of the social media channels. And what we have observed is, there are a lot of people who are active on more than 4 and 5 channels, but after an age they are primarily active on 2 or 3 channels. So today I'm sure you guys would be active on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and again, it means the number of apps are countless. I would say TikTok, right? And if you're looking at anyone above the age of age group of 35 to 40, they would primarily be active on more than one channel or 2 channel. Yes, LinkedIn is something that is more professionally driven, so everybody sooner or later need to be a part of a professional network. Facebook, because all their friends and families are there. And then there's always going to be a third platform. Either it could be Twitter or it could be Instagram, depending upon who the person is, what is the intent to do, and what is the objective. So primarily in the initial years of people shifting to digital, or shifting to social media channel, the journey of that individual person is also going to change, because his behavior, his need, his approaches are going to change. So it's a continuous reinventing the wheel over the period of time, considering what bracket the age group is he in, and what is he doing, or we as a brand or we as a marketer are trying to reach out to. Again, if you see the device ownership, again, uh, the growth on the yearly basis is phenomenal. If you see the bottom half of your slide, the entire digital journey is now moving from features phone to your smartphone to other devices. Again, primarily people were aware about features your smartphone, they were aware about laptops, and they were aware about tablets. But now if you see, you can reach out to your audiences on their gaming console, because a lot of people are playing game. That's the better way to engage with them. Smartphone devices, smart TVs, and virtual reality means the game is going to change going forward, uh, and it has fast tracked, as I mentioned, because of this lockdown, because of this COVID pandemic. A lot of companies who were not thinking of going digital at least for another 2 3 years have fast paced their approaches, because digital and via social and via Google or via other platforms is the only method that they can reach out to the customers, they can reach out to their audiences, stay connected to them, and be be in, talking to them. So coming back to the I guess I got dropped.
Now it's audible, sir. Please continue.
Now audible? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you are looking at the January numbers, again, social media users, total social media users compared to the population, changes in the behavior. If you say 48%, that means if I am going to look at the change in this particular month, it would add another a number which again will it blow our minds, right? And percentage of active users. Everybody who has created a platform, as I mentioned, is active on at least one platform, and that is exactly the data that we as marketers are using on those platforms, and the data part is improving. If you see, there has been a lot of changes in the way Facebook is operating, the way Instagram is operating, Google. They are becoming more friendlier. You are able to see ads related to your searches or your past behavior. So, basis on user behavior is the next wave of marketing that is coming in. More data insight and data driven approaches, which is phenomenal, and it's catching up. Bigger companies are doing it at a much faster scale. The simple reason being is the bandwidth that they have, the leverage to technologies that they have, and the brains that they can have on the team to take up the challenge, discover what is trending, what can be done, and uh, take to the next step. Now, coming to the active social media platform, again, this is the last slide on the data part. If you look at the way the platforms are scaling up, sorry, how usage of the platform has changed. And if you see TikTok, which is just a 2 years old company, I believe now they have been aggressively marketing, and because of the anti-China sentiment, they are being hit a little. But I'm not very sure how far this is going to stay true. But if you see, it has climbed the chart again. If you see till last year, TikTok was not a platform that was very popular. Even till January 2020, it was not that much. All the brands were still exploring it, but now it is in top 10. So the scenarios changes dramatically. Instagram at one point in time was not doing too well, but if you look at it after Facebook understood the importance of it, they took over it, and if you see, it has become one of the most used platform. That means all the audiences that are there are using at least one of the platforms. And if you see, there are couple of more platforms, which is Pinterest, Skype, Snapchat, Reddit, WeChat, which are used by certain segment of audiences basis on their need or basis on their behavior, also on the uh, work culture that they follow. Are they primarily catering to domestic customers, or they are primarily trying to look at international customers? Keeping that in mind, they formulate their business plan. Now, uh, coming back to what are we going to learn in this particular uh, part on the via Aditya group is uh, different sections, different topics, in-depth understanding and in-depth learning, so that you guys are equipped with hands-on understanding of the platform. You have that first draft of information ready for yourself when you go out there in the market or try and implement something for yourself, which was not available to us 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years back. We had to do everything on our own. There was no ready available material to read, learn, discover. Everything that was available was only via the platform specific document, which was very basic. And basis on all our experiment, working with the client, working with different objectives on different scale, is how we have been able to learn, discover, and do what we are. So that piece of information is going to come to you in a more organized fashion, so that it becomes easy for you to pick up the threads from there and start growing. So what are we going to really chart out in our learning part? One is going to be introduction. Again, a gist of the introduction has already been given to you, because it is more data driven, it is more insight driven, it is more real case study driven. That will help you guys understand the market scenarios, will make you also understand what the on ground scenarios are. Basis on that, you would be able to pick up the learnings and start mapping it to your own need. Either it would be for your business or at your workplace, or even on a personal capacity, in case you are intending to be an influencer. So what are we going to look at it? We are going to look at introduction to digital marketing. We are also going to look at how you can do research basis on the tools that are available. If there are no tools available still, because earlier when we started our journey, there was no tools available. Still, we had to deep dive. We have to spend time on understanding what competition is doing, what types of content they are creating. If there is a ditto matching of audiences that is that even we are trying to achieve, how well has their content done, or is there some gap which they have not discovered and we can leverage on that website, which is the first talking point nowadays. And again, at least for another year, unless the vaccines are not out, my sales team is not going to be on ground. So my website is only going to be my online store. My website is only going to be a place where an, an anonymous customer or a stranger is going to come in, is going to understand me. And if I am talking his language, if I am trying to tell him that, hey, this is the solution that we are providing, this is how we are doing it, this is what you can expect from us. Again, it's a multi-level answers that we would be getting at, which the website has to answer. And a lot of businesses fails because they feel that this is not an integral part of it. And we have seen that lot of individuals, lot of businesses would not want to invest in it. But if you see, the businesses who have invested in their website have really grown over a period of years, because the trust that they build with the user is seamless. Today, virtually, with the set of information and knowledge that I'm sharing, if it connects, it connects. So that is what exactly a website does. It's a pure virtual play, but it is very important in the entire user journey. And how do we do it? And then if the customers start talking, what do we do? How do we really look at it? Via email, via copywriting. Again, as I mentioned, if you do an average search that a user is doing on Google, it it runs into billions, right? If we again try and scale it up to the world, the numbers are going to be like 63,000 searches a second, 63 to 64,000 searches happening a second globally. That crazy. That means customers first go to Google to answer their query. After Google, they would land on to some pages. They would go to some social media platform. They would go to YouTube. They would then go to, say, probably Instagram, or they will go to blog. Again, this we call as user journey. So using different tactic, different platforms, what you can do, how you can do, what are the active methods that you can really do, is what we would be discovering in our journey over here. Okay, guys, last 2 minutes to continue with the session. Please log in with the same. Okay. So this is the entire gamut of learning that you would be getting out here, which would be hands-on, more practical. If you look at it, Quora, Twitter, Instagram, Google Analytics, Pinterest marketing, LinkedIn marketing. Again, app is something which has been more popular nowadays. Every company out there is trying to build an application which gives their customers a more seamless approach, more seamless connectivity, and keeping in mind the today's situation, that is where the entire engagement lies, right? So should we reconnect, Nikhil?
Uh, yes, a few seconds left. We'll continue again.
Okay. We'll be talking about opportunities in digital roles. Then couple of questions and please from every one of you. If there's any specific information that you would want